Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Master of Mayhem, Craig Charles.
If you thought Robot Wars has been vicious in the past, then prepare for a rude awakening, because tonight we're leaving it to the professionals, the elite, the hardcore, those that stare danger in the face and tell it to get packing. These are the Great British Forces. The best of the best, and they're about to get bashing. So, the flames have been lit. The saws have been primed. Are you ready to call a serious state of emergency? Well, Juliet, they're fired up out here. How are things looking in the pits?
Well, Craig, I am surrounded by men in uniform. How do you think it's looking? What I can tell you is that tonight there's an enormous amount of honour at stake. Each of the forces, whether it be the Army, the Royal Air Force, the Navy, the Submarine Service, the firefighters or the police, all pride themselves on being the best. Usually the 6 teams gathered behind me fight together, but tonight it's definitely going to be every team for themselves.
The war will begin with 2 3-way melees. 1 force eliminated in each. So, Jonathan, send in the troops, mate.
Craig representing the RAF. Anvil takes on the Submariners of Subversion and the Policemen and Shockwave. Then, from the Fire Brigade, Oblak, from the Army, Rhino, and from the Royal Navy, Megahertz, who will sink or swim. It's time for the big guns!
Well, it's time for the first of our forces special melees. We have 3 robots. 1 of them must be eliminated. First up is the Royal Navy Submarine Service. What's the name of your robot?
This is Subversion from the Royal Navy Submarine Base at Faslane in Scotland.
Okay, are you confident?
Oh, definitely.
Looking forward to it?
Most definitely.
They're going down.
Absolutely.
If they come near us.
Okay,
Definitely going down.
they'll be going down. And we have the police with Shockwave. Are you keen for this?
Yeah, definitely.
Who are you
we're
going for first?
Submarine.
You're going for them?
Oh, definitely. Looks good, good sport, so we're going for them.
Okay, good luck. And the RAF, the Royal Air Force, what's the name of your robot?
This is Anvil. We're from Royal Air Force Kinloss, home of the mighty Hunter. We're going sub-hunting.
Well, it looks to me like the sub is going down.
From the Royal Air Force Kinloss, Anvil.
At 100 kilos, the heaviest in this forces fight, 2 750-watt industrial motors give up to 13.6 miles an hour top speeds. Ramming spikes give plenty of cold, hard steel.
Hi, we're Team Anvil from Royal Air Force Kinloss. We're going to rise above the rest and show them what it means to be at the sharp end.
From the police in Baswich, Stafford, Shockwave.
Dial 999 these days, and look what rushes out at 15 miles an hour. An electric paddy wagon with a 22-inch, 12-kilo vertically mounted cutting disc. A robo-bobby hits the beat.
Hi, I'm Richard.
And I'm Albert, and we're representing the police.
This is our robot, Shockwave.
Our robot is so dangerous, so devious, so downright deadly, it's almost criminal. That's why we have to keep it locked up in a cell. Isn't that right, son?
That's right, Dad. And as a driver, I'm prepared to go down for dangerous driving.
From the Royal Navy HMS Neptune, Subversion.
To celebrate the centenary of the submarine service, the Navy's built a miniature sub with pneumatic cylinder torpedoes, an electric motor propulsor, and a periscope, which acts as a streamer.
We are Team Subversion from the Royal Navy Submarine Base in Scotland, and we are going to Robot Wars to battle against the Army, the RAF, the Police and the Fire Brigade. But if they think they're going to get us, they're wrong, because we are going to sink them in the pit.
Roboteers, stand by.
Police, represented by Shockwave. Albert Peter, a scene of crime officer on the right, son Richard on the left. Submariners and the RAF boys together. They're the Submariners on the left, the RAF in the light blue, of course. Carl Big Bird Walsh at the controls of Anvil. Submariners steered by Chief Petty Officer Russell Scott. The arena for us, Sergeant Bash representing the house robots with the long-range weaponry, coupled with the mighty Matilda.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Anvil turning away. This is Shockwave, just bisecting the two. Looks neat and trim, doesn't it? Subversion, excellent. Submariners entry, and there you can see the mighty weapon of Shockwave. The cutting disc has 2 blades, 22 inches. A mighty weapon. Anvil is between the two of them. Originally built by RAF Kinloss for tri-service promotional and recruiting drives. The police at the moment are the centre of everything. The Submariners go head-to-head there with the Sergeant, our own Sergeant Bash. And they get away without any sort of punishment. The police right at the centre of things, controlling the armed forces. Prevention is 9/10 of the cure out on the streets, the police force will tell you. And they're spinning again. The little submarine is progressing slowly, but these are the meteor two, it seems to me. Shockwave and Anvil. Subversion looks good, pretty as a picture. But what is the weaponry? The little torpedo tubes, have they got any menacing power as Anvil locks horns again with Shockwave? And Subversion has released the pit button, and Shockwave are about to spend not a night in the cells, but a night down in the pit of oblivion. There's no way out for them there. Straight to our own magistrate's court for Shockwave. And the sentence, you are out.
Well, the police force knocked into the pit of oblivion by an RAF flyby. The police force, they go out of the competition. Let's hear it for the police force. Didn't go according to plan.
No, it's a bit unfortunate. We were as close to the pit when it was activated.
You look like you were sort of winning the battle, really.
They're doing all right up until then, yeah.
Good weapon.
Yeah, not bad at all.
What's it made of?
It's 12 kilos of steel.
The steering wasn't quite up to scratch. It was a bit sluggish on response, so we'll have to retune it.
Right. I think you're going to get a bit of ribbon off your mates now, though. RAF battered you.
Oh, yeah.
The Submariners battered you. You're going to get some steak, aren't you?
Just a bit.
Just a bit. Never mind, you've acquitted yourselves very well. Let's hear it for the police force!
Back to the police advanced driving school for you, Shockwave boys. You're out. Anvil and Subversion through Oblock, Rhino and Megahertz next up.
Well, this is the lineup for the second of our first round melees. We have the firefighting team here with Oblark. What have we got here?
We've got a really powerful axe and a really powerful flipper. And in the Forest Service cool, calm, collected way, we're just going to put them out.
Which one first, do you reckon?
We don't mind.
Doesn't
Whoever's
matter.
nearest. Doesn't matter at all, no. We're
Very
not fussy.
confident,
Yeah,
looking
no
good.
problem at all.
OK. And here we have the Navy with Megahertz. Who are you going to be going for first in this?
Not really important, but I hope they got an extinguisher in that, because we're going to barbecue them.
OK. What are you going to do to the army then?
Well, they've got a slogan, be the best. We're the best. There's just an ambition. We're going for the army.
Ooh, can you smell the honour in that?
We go
There's
for
a
the
lot at
army.
stake, isn't there?
Definitely.
And you've got your lucky mascot,
Our
William.
mascot, William.
You're going to bring them luck?
Yes.
Is it going to be easy for your team?
Yeah.
Who are you going for first?
The army.
And why is that?
Because they're made out of cardboard.
Made out of cardboard, says William. Hello, the army.
Hello.
Your robot's called Rhino, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Can it get you through this round, do you think?
No problems at all.
Yeah?
Straight for the Navy, no problems at all.
OK. Why are you going straight for the Navy then?
Well, it's an armed forces thing. Yeah, sorry the fire service get involved in it today, but we're just going to take out the Navy because we're the best.
OK. Well, one of these robots will have to be eliminated. I wonder which one it will be.
From the Royal Navy HMS Collingwood, Megahertz.
At 90 kilos, the lightest in this battle, 3 steel spikes can gore and ram. It's a flat wedge with a SREMEC, so no fears of sinking to Davy Jones' locker then.
We're Team Megahertz. I'm Dave Robson, Purser, Royal Navy, Team Captain. To my right, William Goscombe. To my far right, Purser Bell. Here we are on HMS Ark Royal, flagship of the Royal Navy. We're on their flight deck, we're on the ramp, ready for takeoff. We are the Royal Navy, we are well hard. Bring it on!
From the Army, Haysbrook Barracks, Rhino.
Based on a Mark 7 EOD wheelbarrow as used to detonate bombs electrically powered, the shovel will tip the opponents over slow, and a high ground clearance means it could be tossed into the trenches, this one.
Action!
Hello, my name is Lieutenant Nick Doyle and this is Staff Sergeant Rob Knight. Together we are Team Remy and we're here today with our robot Rhino.
From the Fire Service, Oblark.
Aluminium outer shell fitted with a pneumatic flipper and axe 2 24-volt wheelchair motor driven very quick at up to 18 miles an hour.
Hi, I'm Stan, this is Tom. We're members of the cadet unit at Whitney Fire Station, and we've got a magnificent robot called Oblark, and if our opponents think they're going to beat us, we're going to extinguish their hopes.
Roboteers, stand by.
Megahertz from the Royal Navy and Oblark from the Fire Brigade. They're at the controls of Megahertz, Petty Officer Dave Robbie Robson. And at the controls of Oblark is Rob Heisman on the right. Rhino from the Army being driven by Staff Sergeant Rob Knights, Lieutenant Nick Doyle on his right, Staff Sergeant Phil Pott on the left. Sergeant Batch is in the arena with a long-range flamethrower and the pincers. And Matilda has the tusks and the 27-kilo flywheel.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
The Navy and the Army in the arena together, pride at stake, and the Fire Brigade with Oblark in there as well. Rhino crushing all underneath, it would seem. Or is Megahertz wedged in underneath in those tank treads of Rhino? Do you know, I think that's what's happened there. I think they're locked in underneath. Oblark having a look. It's got the lifter Oblark. It's got the axe weapon if it wants to. But I think they're wedged in underneath there. Well, I don't think you've ever seen a Royal Navy boy and an Army foot slogger in a kiss and cuddle, have you? The Fire Brigade and the Oblark team, Rob Heisman and Stan Launchbury and Flight Cadet Tom Butler looking on, and the ref box too, and now they're away. Megahertz from HMS Collingwood against the Rhino boys from the Remy Rhinos team from down there at Haysbrook Barracks. Turning, trundling, by far the bigger machine, isn't it? Rhino. And now pressing the release button. That's the pit there, bottom of your screen on the right. That begins to descend. And Oblark looks a little bit cumbersome on the turn, and I wonder now if the services team are ganged up against them. No, it's the Rhino team doing all the pushing, and the Fire Brigade need not just a ladder or a fireman's lift to get out of trouble. They need a little bit of assistance there from the Royal Navy. Megahertz providing it. There you can see the Rhino team, Staff Sergeant Rob Knights, Lieutenant Nick Doyle and Staff Sergeant Phil Pott. Oh, and they go up and over the top there. Using the tank treads well. A little soldier on top, keeping an eagle eye out. There you can see the treads. And what's that got caught up underneath? Is that a battery of some sort that's dropped out? Who's in trouble? Steely glare, concentration. Oblark, I think the weapon has been immobilised. Well, I think the battery has gone from the bottom of the Rhino machine. It's dropped out of the casing. Oblark senses that too. The ref bot is in there and they are counting out the Rhino team. You clearly saw the battery had come loose and the electrically powered machine has stopped in its treads. They're out. Rhino has lost its horn and got. Now, of course, the house robots like Matilda can come in for a little bit of action. Ever seen an army boy fly? You're about to. My dad was in the Royal Air Force. He used to say, soldiers don't like flying! And he was right. Flew through the air, and not with the greatest of ease. Those daring young men from the Remies. Crashing over. Out they go. Success for megahertz and the Royal Navy. Oh, and a bitter pill to swallow, Staff Sergeant Rob Knights. All that remains is the broken dream, the tattered Rhino machine. I warned it might go back into the trenches, and it did. And the Navy boys loved that.
Cease.
Well, the Army mascot goes up in flames out of the Army's hopes. The Fire Brigade and the Navy, they go through, but let's hear it for the Army! You were up in the front line for most of that.
Yeah, we were.
But then you conked out.
Yeah, we had a catastrophic power failure. Don't know what happened at all.
We had terribly high hopes for you. Best looking robot in the arena.
Yeah. But unfortunately, looks don't count, do they?
Looks don't count, yeah. I've found that out.
Yeah.
Disappointed?
Yeah.
We thought your robot was better than theirs.
It was. It is the best. It just had a power failure and lost all control.
They were kind of ganging up on you a bit as well.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Yeah, never mind.
Never mind. Ladies and gentlemen, great competitors. Let's hear it for the Army. Carry on, men. Carry on.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Mirror here! Looks don't count, son! You're out, Rhino! Oblock and megahertz go through!
So, two of our forces forced out of the war zone. It's brutal. It's barbaric. Hey, it's robot wars. But are we ready to lose two more? Then, let the semi-finals begin.
Well, congratulations to Anvil. You are through to the semi-finals. Do you know that you're up against the fire service? People that you usually rely on, no doubt, when you land.
Yeah, we're happy about that. We can dampen their spirits a bit. Our kill count's going up. We're going to nail them.
OK, they are looking good. Let's go and talk to Oblark. Well, Oblark, you are the only civilian services left in at this stage of the competition. You are up against the big boys. How do you feel about that?
What, the RAF? I think they're a bit naive. They've even painted a target on the side of their robot for us to hit. And once we get that action to that target, all be over.
They've said that they're going to damp you down, though. They're confident.
Oh, I don't think so. Put them out of their misery.
OK. Team, go set the war zone on fire.
From the fire service, Oblark. From the Royal Air Force, Kinloss, Anvil. Roboteers, stand by.
Reflon takes a quick, eager look at Oblark from the Fire Brigade. Mighty 99 kilos. Rob Heesman there at the right-hand side, a mechanical fitter by trade. And Anvil from RAF Kinloss, Sergeant Mark Ellis, Carl Big Bird Walsh and Corporal Graham Robertson. In the arena, Sir Killalot, crushing claws. And alongside our Knight of the Realm, Shunt, can push just about anything. Fire Brigade, RAF, it doesn't matter.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Wonder if Oblark's lack of manoeuvrability will cost dearly here. They say it can get up to 18 miles an hour. I'm not too sure. Oh, and poorly steered back towards the very edge of the CPZ. It went into the corner patrol zone. That's why Shunt to bring the mighty axe down once and twice through the aluminium outer shell as if it was paper. And Oblark is turned over. Send out the ladders, send out the hoses, and try and rescue the Fire Brigade's Oblark. That's a great remake, by the way. Look at this again. A self-riding mechanism, way up and over they go. Using the pneumatic flipper and the axe at the front. But can they right from this position? The Refbot's having a glance, shunt a little push. In comes Anvil once again. Very low centre of gravity, Anvil. Can run both sides up. Resistant to shock, and also with those high carbon steel ramming spikes to create danger for Oblak. It has an L plate on the back, and I think there's still plenty of learning to be done by the Fire Brigade's robot. Tom Butler, Stan Launchby and Rob Heasman, who came to Stan's help, as Stan's robot was too battered to battle, they say. Oblak tries a little flick, sparks fly. I don't think there's great momentum in any way. They pin themselves onto the arena wall with their own axe there. Can they get away? If they can't move the weaponry, the answer is no. The Refbot checking to see if they're immobilised. Nudging them back into the arena just to make sure. And Anvil has pressed the release button. Down goes the pit there, left of your screen. Oblak is still just about moving. The RAF boy is going to be sky high after this one, I'm sure. Oh, Oblak's weapon is gone! Or one of the weapons. That's the pneumatic flipper. I think its own sheer power then ripped the flipper away from the main bodywork. Damage may have been done by the shunt attack, but as it flipped up there, so off came the main frame of the flipper itself. And onto the arena floor, almost hitting our own Refbot. And the rescue services, you need some rescuing out there. Anvil again on the slam with the spikes. Oblak just about finished. Sir Killalot wants to come in. Shunt lifts. Sir Killalot maybe with the lance that can churn into the very guts of a machine. Or the power, no, he leaves it for Shunt. The fussy Refbot, oh, get out of there, referee. Scuttles across to have a look. Down into the pit, they say. And Shunt will oblige. Not into the pit, but onto the floor flipper. As Oblak counted out by the Refbot. 9, 10, out, and fly, boys, fly. Anvil will have appreciated that. Just having a check to see how Oblak landed, actually. No landing mechanism, no landing gear. Anvil very nearly driving itself onto Killalot, actually. But Anvil go through. Oblak, of course, now food for thought and food for our house robots. On to the flames. The machine of the firefighters. An ironic end to Oblak. Oh, Stan watches with gritted teeth the fire cadet leader. Tom Butler in there as well, loves his cricket. How's that, Tom? You're out. Cease. Oblak bowled over by Anvil.
Well, the Fire Brigade want to get busy and put their robot out. Oblak consigned to the pit of oblivion. The RAF soar into the final of the Forces Special. It was all going so well.
Yeah.
Then you lost your arm, and then you got barbecued.
We had a little problem with the aerials, got caught inside the robots, and then we lost control, and that was it. It went pants from there onwards.
It was a bit pants in the end. You were quite slow as well. Your axe was good, though.
It uses the same link as your shunt.
And I tell you what, a fantastic self-righting mechanism. In fact, almost too good.
It would have been right if the axe hadn't stuck out.
Yeah.
It does self-right quite nicely.
Are you disappointed to go out to these RAF guys?
Yeah, but there's always next year.
There's always next year, so you'll be back?
Yes.
What will the robot be like? Will it be bigger? Will it be better? Will it be better?
Yes.
All righty. Let's hear it for the Fire Brigade and Oblak! How about that then?
I'm impressed. Enjoyed that.
Not so tall now, are you, small fry? You're 6'9", but your robot's performing bigger than that.
Right. Only 6 inches tall, but it stands proud.
It's doing really well, isn't it? You know,
it's doing very well.
You've had a good few battles, and you're rocking. So what are your tactics for the final?
we're just going to keep pounding away like I've been doing.
Keep pounding away. It's a small robot, as you said, but it's got a good heart, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's anvil. It can take a lot of hammer. It's great. It's tough as old boots, and Carl did some great driving today. It's good.
Hey, like Sterling Moss.
Something like that.
So, you reckon the final, confident you're going to have it?
I think so.
You're going to prove that you're the best of the forces, are you?
We're the best, we're the baddest, we're going to do it.
Alrighty, let's hear it for the RAF and Anvil!
It's going to be a Navy team, and we're going to sink them.
The RAF boys of Anvil go through. Oblock and the Fire Brigade out. Megahertz against Subversion. It's a Navy special next.
Subversion team, congratulations, you're through to the semi-finals and you're up against the Royal Navy. How do you feel about that?
Well, very confident. We are submariners representing submarine service. They're a bunch of skimmer targets. They're definitely going down.
So you think you're going to end up on top?
Oh, yeah.
Anything else to say to the opposition?
There's a good bit of rivalry. They're weapons engineers, we're marine engineers, so it's going to see who comes out the best technically.
Good luck, team. Let's go meet the Navy. Megahertz. Subversion have just called you a bunch of skimmers.
Oh, really?
Targets.
Really?
Yeah?
Well, I'll tell you what, we are Team Megahertz, and we're going to beat them into submission.
Okay. I had no idea there was so much competition within the Navy. This is going to be fierce.
From the Royal Navy HMS Collingwood, Megahertz. From the Royal Navy HMS Neptune, Subversion. Roboteers, stand by.
Shiver me timbers, Refbot. Just make sure there are no piratical tricks going on here. Megahertz. Petty Officer Dave Robbie Robson. Petty Officer Dinger Bell. Operator Mechanic Goose. And from Royal Navy Faslane, the Subversion of the Submariners, Chief Petty Officer Russell Scott, Gordon Walker and John Soapy Watson. We've got Sir Killalor out there doing battle for us with the crushing claws of the Lance. He is invincible, according to me. Shunts fairly hard as well, with the pushing power and the diamond edge axe and scoop.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Subversion on the right is the heavier and the quicker here across the arena floor, but Megahertz has the more potent weaponry, I think, with the 3 steel spikes. Hey! Fire 1, fire 2, tubes away for Subversion with their little spikes there. In the torpedo tubes, out they come again. Not too sure. Well, what's the manoeuvrability like? They need a periscope up to see where they're going. They slammed against the arena wall there. Subversion. In comes Megahertz. Trying to be a little bit tricky with a thrust from the rear. All the team members serving together at the Royal Navy School of Weapons, Engineering and Communications. The Subversion team trying to get that rear spinning blade working. Was something caught up in there? No, it wasn't. They're okay. Side by side with Megahertz. This is very, very close. Ooh, aye, skipper up there on the conning tower. That must have hurt. They try now to gain revenge by backing onto Megahertz. This is like naval manoeuvres out there, isn't it? Who will... Oh, the Royal Ensign been flown with pride. Royal Navy, says the other banner. And out comes Killalot. Little flick of the side of Subversion. The Subversion's still moving. Or have they conked out? A prod from Killalot. Well, the weapon is still working. But Skipper, you have work to do. There you can see the weaponry of Subversion still spinning away at the rear. But in slams Megahertz, using those 3 steel spikes and... Oh, is that a thumbs down I see from you, Skipper? Certainly the Megahertz boys think you're heading out, so does the Refbot. And for me, the most attractive robot in this Armed Forces melee is about to descend into the pitch. Fire a depth charge! Subversion! Oh dear. Captain, you are heading down into the depths. Down comes Shunsat. That is very painful. The submarine nearly took off. Ooh, dear, oh dear. And out he comes. Man overboard. Man the lifeboats. Was it really necessary? Well, lend them a hand. Because they needed subversion. Over they go once. Rights itself. Shunt will find, though, the pit. And down they will go. Tubes away. And with them go the Submariners entrant. Close encounters of the robot kind. In the end, it wasn't too close. They want him to go in the pit. The world's first flying submarine. Oh, a fashion, a crash at the end. Here we go. Up and over. Roly-poly. And down it came. Bits crashing all over the arena floor. And Killalot will try and pick it up, and indeed does so. And now we'll lever it towards that pit. And I think it will take more than a dry dock to rescue subversion, and Petty Officer Robbie Robson loved it with the megahertz tape. A twist of the screw, and down they go.
Well, sailing is a cruel sea, and it's turned into a cruel arena. Subversion suffered a man overboard, and then they're sunk without a trace. Megahertz sailed through to the Forces final! Well, I thought you might have a chance of doing it, but it looked like you were on silent running for a while. Your weapon didn't work for ages, then all of a sudden it started working.
Yeah, it was working fine. We had a little bit of a reactor scram in the middle of the fight there, and that caused us a few problems, you know.
Your sonar problems. Ding, ding. What do you feel about losing to them, though?
Doesn't matter. It's still the Navy in the final.
It's still the Navy in the final, I know. But were you boys working together? Was it a tactic thing? You're saying, let's get the best robot through. Do you think their robot's a little bit better than yours? Seemed a bit tougher.
Oh, we still wanted to destroy each other, so...
You still wanted to destroy each other. But you can wave bye-bye to the competition, can't you?
Well, yeah, but we'll be back. We'll be back. Subversion 2.
And we'll be really, really glad to have you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Subversion! Well, what was your tactic going into that battle?
Basically, pure skill, determination, sheer knowledge of the game. I mean, it was just go in there, sort him out, take him down, no messing.
Yeah, when were you going to implement that, though?
It was just after you shouted cease.
You're through. You're having a good time.
Having a fantastic time.
What do you think about it, young man?
Brilliant.
It's brilliant, isn't it? It's a good robot as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it megahertz everything, doesn't it?
Yes.
And you're going to win the final, aren't you?
Yes.
All righty, this is what we like. Confidence. Let's hear it for megahertz.
Royal Navy boys from Megahertz through to meet the RAF boys of Anvil. Subversion, a thing of the past.
So, another two robots have bitten a devastating dust. And it's back to basic training for them. But on with the two survivors. It's time for the big one. This is it. This is Meltdown. This is the Forces final.
It's the final, and this is going to be the robotic battle of Britain. We have the Royal Air Force with Anvil up against the Royal Navy with Megahertz. Anvil, what are you going to do to your opponents?
They're going home in a bin bag.
Yeah?
We're going to destroy them, we're going to sink them, they don't know what's going to hit them.
You think so, do you?
We're going to bash them and smash them. Down they go.
Are you going to let them talk to you like that?
They're going airborne. We're going to clip your wings. Stand by, RAF.
Rise above the rest. You're going to rise above the best, sunshine.
We're going to...
All right. Sort it out in the arena. It is time to feel the force.
All right, then. Flying the flag for the RAF. Show some serious respect for Anvil. And it's the pride of the Navy. Come on, stand to attention for Megahertz.
Roboteers, stand by.
The nation expects every man to do his duty. Royal Navy boys and megahertz. Petty officers Dave Robson, Dinger Bell and Operator Mechanic Goscombe. Anvil, will it be a blitz? Per ardua ad astra through hard work to the stars for Sergeant Mark Ellis, Carl Big Bird Walsh and Corporal Graham Robertson. Now we've also thrown into the arena dead metal, weapons synergy, the pincers and the saw. And shunt with that axe, the scoop, the pushing power.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Anvil on the left, megahertz, moving away up to 8 miles an hour. Anvil by far the quicker. Looks to me to be the stronger. Is the heavier by 10 kilos. Megahertz, bit of a sort of stealth machine look about it. Stealth bomber, dark, menacing. Anvil proudly wearing the RAF Kinloss colours. That's Dave Robbie Robson of the Megahertz Royal Navy team. Dodging Anvil's onslaught. Oh, moving into the CPZ though! And that means that Shunt can come out with the axe and the scoop. And a bad drive in there by Megahertz. Ill-advised. Steering problems there. And the Royal Navy machine was rudderless for the moment. Anvil moves to the pit release tyre. There's the alarm, you know what it means. You can see the mouth of the pit is open. I just wonder whether or not Megahertz steering and controls have been affected. It is turning one way, and the Anvil team looks confident to me. Backing away now, Megahertz, but there is little in terms of aggressive power from the Megahertz Royal Navy team. Anvil is doing all the work. There you can see the little wheels on top of Megahertz. It's invertible, can run either way up, but it's on the side angle grinder. Seems to be wedged in there with its own steel spikes. The ref has a glance. Oh! And out comes dead metal. Very nearly pinching the life out of Megahertz, slamming against the arena wall. Royal Navy against the RAF. And it looks to me as if the Fly Boys have this one at the moment. You never know. Angels 10 o'clock high. Watch out there for Megahertz spinning away. Whatever you do, Anvil team don't end up in the briny. That, of course, is the home of the Royal Navy boys, and they've come back into it here, Megahertz, I think. They look so ropey, and Anvil very nearly sustaining an attack from Shunt. A plucky display here by Megahertz, because it was all over. They were all washed up, the Navy team. But they've come back very, very strongly, and it could well go to the judges, this, you know. Here's Petty Officer Robbie Robson again. Loves his robots, loves his rugby. Anvil, though, trying for a loose maul on the side of the arena wall. Tightly controlled, Anvil. Sergeant Mark Ellis' nickname Anvil because he once shoved an anvil with a 15-stone man sitting on top. Now that's hard. And Anvil on the attack again. In the pit, and Anvil have gone! They went on the attack! And as they spun away, so dead metal spun them into the pit! And it's the Royal Navy royal victory! When for me, they had no chance. They were down and out. And what a comeback!
Oh! Dead metal, completely out of order, throws Anvil in the pit, but it's an illegal move. So the judges have requested that we judge the fight up until the point where Dead Metal threw Anvil in the pit. Controversial as usual here on Robot Wars.
Well, up until that point, Anvil certainly had gained the most marks on the judges' scoreboard, I would think. Mainly due to this, Megahertz driving itself into the CPZ to take punishment from Shunt. So yes, Anvil were heading for a win. Megahertz in all sorts of problems, even though they fought back. But this was the decisive moment once again. Here, Dead Metal spinning Anvil into the pit. Anvil was still mobile. That is an illegal move, say the judges. It was Dead Metal and not Megahertz there, flicking Anvil unfairly into the pit.
was close, but they've gone for the RAF and Anvil! Guys, what to say, you've got to be disappointed.
Not at all.
Not at all?
Not at all.
They got put in the pit, but they shouldn't have got put in the pit. It was an illegal move by the house robot, and the rules then state that the judges judge it up until the time when the house robot infringed. So, I'm sorry.
Well done, RAF.
Well done, RAF. How do you feel? You feel a bit disappointed?
Yes.
Yeah. You thought you had it there for a minute, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the judges came and broke your hearts, didn't they? Thank you, judges. You see, it's not fair, is it? No. It's them judges, it's them down there. There they are, there they are. There they are. There they are, there. Go and have a word with them later.
No, we love them.
Yeah.
We love them. You got to, I mean, yeah.
Have you had a good time?
Oh, fantastic time.
You going to be back?
Yeah, oh yes.
With a better robot, bigger, badder? What are you going to do with it? Any improvements you think you can make?
Possibly. We'll have a look at it and we'll see what we can do.
All right, carry on. Carry on.
Space.
Watch this space. Okay. Guys, the RAF and Anvil, there you are. Our Forces champions.
Excellent.
I bet when you got put in the pit, you thought it was all over, didn't you?
We thought we blew it, man. We thought we blew it.
I bet you did. What would you tactics in that battle? Because you were two kind of similar robots in a way.
We just thought we'd pound them, and then when pounding didn't work, we thought we'd open the pit, and then we fell down it.
Well, it was good driving to open the pit and try and manoeuvre them towards it. It was a right old dogfight.
It was.
You were very tenacious, and you flew to victory in the end.
You did.
You don't look very happy.
But yeah, we're delighted. Absolutely ecstatic. Is that better?
Is that a lugubrious face then, is it?
No, we're really happy.
You're really happy?
We've achieved everything we wanted to do. Brilliant.
Okay, well, you are our Forces champions. What are you going to do with the robot? You're going to come back and defend your title? Are you going to make any changes to the robot?
We're building a big bad weapon. We'll be back, bigger and better.
Bigger, badder, better. That's what we like to hear on Robot Wars Extreme. Ladies and gentlemen, the RAF and Anvil! Well, those magnificent men and their fighting machines have won a proper war on Robot Wars Extreme. Bye-bye.